Have you ever watched a show and thought, wow, this is a wonderfully crafted piece of media. I can tell a lot of time and effort was put into making this into the best product possible. I hate it.
That doesn't make sense.
Just one of those shows where you watch it and think, that was good. Probably never gonna watch it again. That was the case for me when watching Takopi's Original Sin, an anime that is genuinely a fantastic creation, but incredibly uncomfortable and hard to watch.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Thankfully, it's only 6 episodes, because I don't know if I could have sat through much more. However, this in no way means the show's a failure. In fact, quite the opposite. And today I'm going to try and explain why sometimes we need media like Takopi, even if it actively sabotages your mood. Before we get into the actual video, I want to preface, there are some heavy topics in this show, and y'all know me, I'm a bit of a jokester. I like a little bit of hee-hees and ha-has, and while I will be making jokes, the topics being discussed are very serious and should not be taken lightly.
I'm so fucking scared right now, you shut up!
I want to set the tone a bit. I went into this anime with no other knowledge than the synopsis, which reads, a happy alien, Takopi, lands on Earth with one mission, to spread happiness. When he meets Shizuka, a lonely 4th grader, he vows to bring back her smile using his magical happy gadgets. But as he uncovers the pain in her life, Takopi learns true happiness may require more than gadgets. You read that and you're like, alright, might be a bit more melancholic, maybe she's dealing with some issues at home, or some bullying, and we got this cute little octopus alien to come in and help her out. How wholesome.
Wrong. Not this time. Not this time. You're wrong. Not this time.
I kid you not. I watched the first episode with one of my good buddies, and I don't know if we said a single word during the entire episode. After, we almost simultaneously said, so, not watching that anymore, are we? And I didn't until the entire season was finished, and let me tell ya, doesn't get much better. But how bad could it be? Rather than explain it, I think perhaps a visual representation is needed. I figured that this anime would touch on some rougher subjects, especially with the disclaimer in the beginning, but I don't think I could mentally prepare for what I was getting into. We aren't just talking bullying, we're talking downright the worst of the worst, like should receive jail time type of treatment.
You see those guys over there? They gonna leave marshmallows in your cocoa.
We follow this girl Shizuka who gets vehemently bullied on the daily by her classmates, and specifically this girl Marina. She does things such as breaking her school supplies, calling her names, writing terrible things on her desk and bag, beating her up, killing her dog. You know, the usual.
Kevin, your dog just died.
All of this negative stuff is happening, but good thing Takopi is here to cheer Shizuka up, right? Wrong. Takopi is a Happian, and I guess on that planet they have no concept of any other emotion besides happiness. It seems physically incapable of understanding the human psyche. People talking about heinous acts they committed? Oh, they're talking about something fun. Oh, your mother is an escort and your dad left you? Wow, crazy how you only need a mom to create children in this world. You got into a fight and your face is messed up? My face also changes colors when I'm shy. I know this is the intended personality of Takopi, but it's genuinely infuriating watching it as it assesses each situation. But as out of touch as Takopi is, I think it's infuriating because it's also kinda accurate. There are those types of people that simply can't comprehend someone being sad or upset. If you're feeling down, they might hit you with the, have you tried just getting over it?
So I hear you're feeling pretty sad lately. Have you ever tried not being sad?
And then there's the gadgets. Because if you're feeling down, nothing like some strange knick-knack to try and cheer you up. Ah yeah, I know your family died in that house fire, but here's a pen that when you click it, it sounds like a rabbit from Saturn. What the fuck does that mean? However, again, this is also rooted in reality. Say you're experiencing bullying and your parent notices that your mood is down. To try and cheer you up, they might buy you an ice cream or maybe that new game you wanted. It's a nice thought, but it's not going to fix the actual problem you're having. No amount of flappy wings, fact coons, or reconciliation ribbons will make the situation better. Whatever you do, do not offer the reconciliation ribbon. I promise nothing good will come from it. However, there is one specific gadget that acts as an important plot tool, the happy camera.
Yep.
When a picture is taken, Takopi can use their powers to go back to that specific time. Some link click type shit. While Takopi kinda remains ignorant to differing human emotions, even they can understand when shit has hit the fan a little too much, and then they will go back to try and remedy the situation. It often doesn't work, but even so, it's usually better than the alternative. This is the formula we follow for a few episodes until the camera breaks for, no reason in particular, meaning from here on out, Takopi cannot change the events. Admittedly, there's some twists and turns that changes your perspective on some of the characters, but it's still pretty damn negative for the entirety of the show.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always!
With all this negativity, you think maybe there's some stuff you can get behind. Maybe there's some good characters to kind of just, bring up the mood a bit. No. Pretty much everyone in this show is kind of terrible. It's not always their fault, which I'll get to a bit later, but in the moment, all you can say is why? Even Shizuka, you obviously feel bad for her situation, but you think she would be the last one to do something bad. But when she starts to feel better, she becomes emotionally manipulative and honestly just delusional. Marina, well, we've seen what she's capable of, but the show shows some of her more vulnerable moments, making her slightly less a piece of shit. Instead of diarrhea, it's just one solid turd.
Because you're a piece of shit.
I am not a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, but you're a little bitch.
Sure.
And then Azuma, one of the only characters who shows empathy, is easily manipulated at the thought of being wanted or relied on. But again, this is reality. Everybody has flaws, and those can either be more prominent or subdued, depending on your physical and mental state. And we gotta remember, these are just kids, 4th graders. I'm not gonna just shit on how a 9-year-old acts, because all kids kinda fucking suck. But they don't know better.
Fuck you, you little shit!
It's the jobs of the parents to be present and guide their child through life, teaching them valuable lessons while instilling proper morals and being that support system that the young mind needs. And this is where we have the more anger-inducing, aggravating, irritating, annoying, other anger synonyms for the entire show. Holy fuck, the parents deserve nothing short of the worst. Talking eternal wet socks or that itch on your back that you can't reach and it never goes away. Or like a swift brick to the face, something like that. I know it's not quote-unquote the main lesson the show teaches, but if you came away with one thing from this show, it's that children are a product of their environment. Their younger years are the most influential, and if the parents are absolute dickheads, the kid will pick up on those negative traits.
I'm just a kid.
Let's just run down the line. Shizuka, her father left at a young age, and her mother works as an escort, seducing and manipulating men for money. She barely pays any attention to her child and doesn't seem to care, and that rubs off on Shizuka, especially with her relationship with Azuma. Marina is part of a broken home. Her dad is having an affair with Shizuka's mom, and the mom obviously knows, which creates a disjointed household where he isn't around much, and then the mom becomes dejected, using drugs and alcohol frequently, and often acts abusive towards her child. Marina isn't exactly gonna lash out at Shizuka's mom, so she does the other thing, blames Shizuka for ruining her family when it should be solely on the adults. And then there's Azuma, whose mother puts unrealistic expectations on him. Since his brother is a genius and gets 100 on everything, she negatively reinforces him and decides to downright stop caring, even when he's still the top of his class. He receives no praise and even distances himself from his brother because he feels like a failure. And it's not just the parents, even the teachers don't be doing shit.
You want to go to war, Malaki?
No.
Because we could go to war.
No.
I'm for real.
How do you see this person, Shizuka, literally having shit and die written on their desk, and they do nothing to stop this just blatant bullying? Teachers are just as important of mentors, so to see them pay no mind was very annoying. The adults in the show project so much negativity onto their kids, and they end up being shitty too. There's maybe 2 actual good characters in this anime. Azuma's brother Junya, he's genuinely kind and caring, and makes himself available at any time for his brother. And Chappie, Shizuka's dog.
I love you, dog! I just want to let you know how I really felt about dogs.
That dog loved her no matter what, and was the only source for her happiness. Even when things were rough, if she had her dog, she could make it through. It's relatable. Hey, you. Hey. I love you. Oh. trying not to spoil most of like the nitty-gritty of the show, but I will say I have sort of mixed feelings on the ending. As much as I believe the moral of the story is that some people should not be allowed to have children, the show makes it clear that its happiness is born through talking. It's true, no random space octopus is going to come down and save you from your problems. And even if talking isn't guaranteed to do anything, it's a step in the right direction. I just found it a bit convenient that Takopi is able to use their power one more time despite their camera being broken so that they can go all the way back to the beginning. The characters' memories are a bit hazy, where they kind of have the memories erased but also somewhat remembered, and its presence, the thought of Takopi, helps them overcome their differences and even become friends later in life. To me, it kind of felt like forced positivity. You've had nothing but sadness and despair shoved down your gullet for 5.5 episodes. Might as well have a decent resolution.
I'm tired of suffering. It's
just funny how we go on the verge of somebody about to get stabbed with a pen to bonding over the doodle of an octopus. I fear that may not be accurate bully defense. While the general consensus is pretty high on Takopi, I've heard criticisms of the show, mainly its cry porn used to create emotion and make people believe the story is better than it is. I would disagree. I think what happens in all three households is accurate, but seeing all three at the exact time might be a bit overload for some people. I wouldn't call it perfect, but I think it does a lot better in 6 episodes getting its point across than some shows do in 24. It's a unique premise with an interesting dichotomy of overly negative and overly positive. Hopefully the show will convince people to reach out more and be available to those around you. Everyone has their own package to carry, and you never quite know how heavy it's weighing them down unless you try talking.
Drew is a small human being, but his package is kind of big.
And you, as a person, might never get that weight off of your shoulders if you don't reach out as well. Let me know what you thought about Takopi's Original Sin in the comments. I know it covers some heavy subjects, but if you feel you can't talk to anyone and maybe want to get some stuff off your chest or just want to vent about some shit, throw it in the comments and I'll do my best to respond back to everybody. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe. I mentioned that I was going to get my Patreon back going, but honestly, I don't even really have an upload schedule anymore. I just make the videos when my brain actually wants to work on some stuff, so I would hold off on that for now. But if you are still here watching the vids, I appreciate you, and hopefully it won't be as long for another video. Take it easy, everybody.